All right, we continue to see small pockets of people protesting the stay-at-home orders, though. In North Carolina, hundreds of people, frustrated with Democratic Governor Roy Cooper's stay-at-home order, marched yesterday around his home, demanding that he cancel it and reopen the state's economy. Protesters were seen on the streets of Raleigh carrying placards and banners and chanting as they gathered in a parking lot before being escorted by police motorcycles to walk through streets downtown, including those surrounding the executive mansion. And in Wisconsin, Republican lawmakers in that state's legislature filed a lawsuit against Democratic Governor Tony Evers yesterday, challenging his stay-at-home order to contain the coronavirus outbreak. Last week, Evers' health secretary ordered most non-essential businesses to remain closed until May 26th, even though the original order was set to end on Friday. You'll recall it was Wisconsin's Republican lawmakers who also insisted on scenes like this. Crowded voting lines in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, earlier this month after those Republican Assembly members refused to move that state's primary. Now the city's health commissioner has identified 7 people who appear to have contracted COVID-19 through activities related to the election. 6 of the reported cases were found in voters, as well as 1 poll worker. By the end of this week, officials hope to have additional information on cases found since April 7th, including potential deaths linked to overwhelming voter turnout at the city's 5 polling stations.
It's
good Lord.
These Wisconsin Republicans again. You would think that they would have learned by now. I mean, they're doing everything they can to make sure Donald Trump is defeated in the fall, that he loses Wisconsin in the fall. I mean, they even got a liberal judge elected because of their stupidity and their short-sightedness and their recklessness, and they're still at it again. I don't know. It may be... Maybe Joe Biden's campaign is paying the head of the Republican Party in Wisconsin. I don't know, but I mean, as Willie said, with his small business owners, I'm hearing the same thing, and you're hearing the same thing from small business owners we know. Like, they understand that, probably by the end of this week, maybe by the middle of the next week, more people will have died in a month or so of this virus than died in 20 years in Vietnam, 15 years in Vietnam. We're at 44,000 now. We're going to get to 57,000, sadly. If you just look at the arc of the cases, tragically, I don't think there's any way to avoid it. I pray every night that we don't get there, that we bend the curve, that people stop dying. But right now, it looks like that's where it's going. And you have the CDC director now warning about things actually possibly getting worse in the fall. Well, we talk a lot about the 1918 pandemic. The 1918 pandemic, for all those people out in the streets protesting, they may want to know that it was so deadly, not because of the first wave in the spring, but because of the wave in the fall. The second wave in the fall is what was so deadly, was even deadlier than the first wave. That's what we're having to prepare for. So, I mean, give me liberty or give me death. Very, very strong statement. Sadly, in this case, a lot of people are being given death, and the recklessness doesn't help. And it's important to note that the protests that you're seeing in some states, obviously in Democratic states, isn't that interesting that a Democratic governor and a Republican governor will have the same policies, but these protests usually just make it in Democratic states. It does appear to be just a fringe movement, at least for now. But as Donald Trump is catering to that fringe, as I said, he's undercutting his support. And I've said this, he's hurting himself with key groups that are going to be critical to him getting reelected.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.